Los Angeles, this is what you wanted, right? This World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Houston Astros was just too superb, too tightly contested and too thrilling, with both slugfests and pitchers' duels, for it not to go to a Game 7. Game 7, it is said, are the best two words in sports, but when they apply to the perfect pandemonium these teams have provided for the last 8 days, including a 3-1 Dodgers victory over the Astros and ace Justin Verlander on Tuesday night here at Dodger Stadium, then Game 7 isn't too terribly far down the list of best words, or at least most fun words, by any standard. Game 6 did not provide a classic worth a winter of discussion but rather an exciting, crisply played game with a fine dramatic premise. Could a 37-year-old journeyman pitcher named Rich Hill, who has only found his prime years in the last 3 seasons, find a way to hang with Verlander, a likely future Hall of Famer, long enough to keep his Dodgers within striking range? Hill managed it almost perfectly, leaving after 42 thirds innings, trailing just 1-0. He got a standing ovation. Thanks to an RBI double by Chris Taylor and a sacrifice fly by Corey Seager in the 6th inning off Verlander, plus an opposite field solo homer by Jock Peterson in the 7th off reliever Joe Musgrove, the Dodgers got just enough offense. The 5-man Dodgers tag team of Hill, Brandon Morrow, Tony Watson, Kenta Maeda and finally Kenley Jansen, who got the last 6 outs in a row on just 19 pitches, was enough to hold the Astros, who now have 14 homers in this World Series, to 1 lone run on a George Springer homer. There's probably something else you also wanted to see in a Game 7, a rematch between Yu Darvish and the Astros, who thumped the Dodgers right-hander in Game 3, knocking him out in 12 thirds innings. Of course, that rematch will also have a large side helping of Yuli Gurriel, the 33-year-old Astros slugger from Cuba who made a racist gesture as well as an anti-Asian remark directed at Darvish, who is Japanese and Iranian. Gurriel was verbally reprimanded by MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred and suspended for 5 games, next season, not in this World Series. Dodger manager Dave Roberts, whose mother is Japanese, was asked his view of the appropriateness of the suspension. Roberts approved it, but only after stressing that what he wanted most was that there won't be any asterisks when we win. In the baseball culture, that's about as blunt as it gets. We want him to play, not because of subtleties of ethical debate and suspension precedents, but so we can beat you flat, no excuses. Waves of boos greeted Gurriel from the moment he was introduced before Game 6, then throughout his 4 at-bats with 1 single. Hill took long walks around the mound before Gurriel's first 2 at-bats, letting the crowd have time to work him over, then keep up the booing his whole at-bat. After Game 3, he contacted us and said, "I'd like to meet you in person and apologize," Darvish said Tuesday through a translator. But I told him, "You don't have to do that, because you made a comment, and, I'm not that mad. So, I really didn't care much about that. You can take that multiple ways. Just expect Darvish will be motivated." Ironically, Gurriel may now provide just an extra bit of home field advantage. Both of these teams are run by stat freaks and know exactly how important home field edge has been since 1986, when MLB changed its rules and let the home team use its own league's rules on the designated hitter in World Series games. Since then, in Games 6 and 7, home teams have a 20-6 record and a comparably huge 135-86 margin in run differential. The Dodgers sure love being back in LA, especially now that the temperature at game time is 67 degrees, not 103, as in Game 1. In effect, that pushes the fences back at least 10 feet and may serve as a slight deterrent to the Astros, who are an even better slugging team than Los Angeles. Dodger Stadium played big in Game 6, with several well-hit drives dying short of the walls, including a Corey Seager blast to right field that ended as a sacrifice fly, caught near the top of the fence, rather than a 3-run homer. Springer, to open the scoring in the 3rd inning, and Peterson, to add a final insurance run in the 7th, still managed solo homers. You could make these teams play in Anchorage and you still couldn't keep them in the yard. We're happy to be at home. Tonight was very energizing, said Roberts, whose team was emotionally drained after losing the epic 13-12 battle in Game 5 in Houston on Sunday. We worked all year for home field advantage and here we are. It does seem fitting that there's a Game 7. These are the two best teams in baseball. They mirror one another. And neither one gives in. So now we have what we want. Even the Astros say they're psyched for it, not that they wouldn't prefer to be flying back to Houston now for a parade. Big ST.